Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another adventure. This is the beginning of a monthly series I want to do where I will do random roller coaster reviews. So each month I'll choose a coaster to review and then post it on here. And this month I decided to do Mako at SeaWorld Orlando. So let's just jump right into this. So let's start out with some basic information about the ride. Mako is a B&M hypercoaster at SeaWorld in Orlando. The ride maxes out at a height of 200 feet, a max speed of 73 miles per hour, and is 4,760 feet in length. The trains are arranged 4 across with 7 rows for a total of 28 riders. And why don't we start there with the trains? Each train is themed, as the name implies, a Mako shark. It has a blue and purple with a little hints of silver color scheme. The restraints are the very comfortable B&M clamshell restraints. To me, these are one of the most comfortable restraints on the planet, as they allow for Mako to really maximize that flowjector airtime that the ride is known for. As for the queue, when you enter in, you enter under the shark logo with the name, and continue in the queue, you will see many elements of dark woods and some plants that look like they could be under the ocean. Some of the supports are themed as like to having coral on them. As you venture further into the queue, you will begin to see metal pieces and what's supposed to look like metal, and that is to simulate a sunken shipwreck where the shark lives. As for the station, it actually looks like a piece of a ship that is broken off and been left at the bottom of the sea for it to rust. So overall, I would say SeaWorld did a very good job theming the station and queue and with the trains. As far as the ride itself goes, there is not much theming. The only real theming on the ride is at the end as it travels over the footpath and the small lake that most of the ride takes place over, and the final turn does take place over the main lake in the middle of SeaWorld. Now, as for the ride experience, once a train is dispatched from the station, it travels through a small left-hand turn through some feeder wheels and engages the lift hill. Now, the lift isn't overly fast, or as fast as some of the other B&M coasters are, like Fury 325 at Carowinds, but it is still a very fast lift hill that gets the train to the top at a nice speed, while still allowing you to enjoy the amazing soundtrack that plays while you are climbing the lift. As the train crests the lift and dives down to ground level, riders are delivered a strong pop of flowjector airtime. Now, flowjector is commonly found throughout the ride, but this is definitely the strongest moment. As the train travels through the valley, it delivers a high amount of positive G-forces. The train then pulls up into a massive 90-degree overbanked turn, beginning the out and back layout. This turn doesn't do too much, but it does provide a small amount of positive G-forces and a good amount of whip. After this left turn, the train goes through another valley with another good amount of positive G-forces before ascending into the massive Camelback Airtime Hill, which many consider to be the best element on the ride. This element delivers amazing sustained flowjector airtime throughout. The last time I rode Mako, I counted about 8 seconds of this sustained airtime in the front row. The train then pulls up through another valley, delivering more positive G-forces into a slightly banked left-hand turn before whipping 180 degrees to the right through a hammerhead turn, that turns the train around and sends it back towards the overbank turn earlier in the layout. The hammerhead turn doesn't do too much other than get the train turned around, but it does provide a small amount of lateral g-forces. The train again pulls up forcefully into another massive camelback airtime hill. Though this airtime hill is trimmed, it still can deliver a good amount of floater airtime, just not as sustained as the other hills. The train then pulls up again into what begins as another camelback, but as the train crests, it banks and whips 90 degrees to the right under the overbank turn from earlier, delivering good laterals as well as flowjector airtime. The train then goes over another bunny hop that runs parallel to the first drop, heading in the opposite direction. This provides a nice pop of floater airtime. The train then pops up into the mid-course brake run. Depending on how hard the brake run is hitting will depend on how fast and how punchy the last few elements are. But for the purpose of this video, we'll say that the mid-course is not hitting very hard. The train then dives off the mid-course by banking slightly to the left under the lift hill. This delivers more laterals and another pop of flowjector airtime. The train then goes over a small camelback behind the station that delivers more sustained floater. The train then ascends up and banks to the right in an element called a wave turn. This provides a small pop of sideways airtime as the train travels over the midcourse or over the final brake run. The train then unbanks and pulls out high above the ground as it is now traveling over the main footpath of the park. The train then banks left into a left-hand wave turn, which is about the same as the first one. This turn then leads into a swooping left-hand turn over the water before ascending up and whipping out into the final brake run, delivering one last small pop of flowjector airtime. Overall, Mako is a very good coaster that focuses on floater and flowjector airtime. It is by far the smoothest coaster in Florida, with super comfortable restraints and some pretty good theming in the queue, as well as a nice setting on the ride. Overall, I thoroughly enjoy Mako and am so happy to have it at my home park. But that's all for this review, and I will see you guys next time on another adventure. Bye.